Hi guys, welcome to the Femina X Grazia Virtual Beauty Carnival. My name is Eden Naruna and I'm from the Femina editorial team. And today we have joining with us Shireen Sikka from Shireen Labba, Ankita Chaturvedi from Kodal Easter Blog, and Shraddha Gurung from Lil Miss Gurung. Hi guys, how are you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Doing very well.
So
Thank you so much.
let's begin. The topic for today is body positivity. So the first question would be, why is body positivity so important?
Okay, I'm gonna go. I just so body positivity, according to me, is just something that is meant to empower all of us, irrespective of our gender, our size, our whatever it is. And I just think it's really important for all of us to challenge what society has been presenting as what we should look like, what a person should look like, behave like, dress like. And I think it's time that we challenge these like ancient thinking techniques.
Yeah. What about you, Ankita?
I think for me, I feel like it's very important for like the collective happiness overall for all of us. I feel for me, for the longest time, until I came across other people who were talking about, accepting bodies and, finding your beauty at whatever size, gender you are, for me, there was such a sense of shame that, I don't fit into this standard of what is beauty, therefore I'm not beautiful. And I feel like shame is the biggest thing that stops us from being happy and living, wholeheartedly. And I think that's why it's not just an individual thing. I think collectively in the world, we will be so much happier if we accepted everyone for who they are.
Yes, that's very true. What about you, Shraddha?
I think it's such a I've been a part of so many discussions and I've heard these lovely ladies talk like otherwise also. I just feel that because social media is the it thing at the moment and it is the future of everything that is yet to come. Body positivity is so crucial because social media has created a problem out of nothing. I understand we did have bad beauty standards. We did have very restrictive, ideals of how people should look like. But I feel that with the rise of us creators, with the rise of the social media culture in general, these problems have been magnified to an unnatural level. So at this point, body positivity is important because it speaks of something which is so normal, which has been made into a problem, which is somehow being, somehow money is being minted off of people's insecurities. And that's not what we're here for. We as creators, we wish to create an environment in which we're willing to share similar interests and we're willing to grow. And there's no room for crap like that. Right. So I think that's why it's important, because it wasn't a problem to begin with. We made something out of it. And now people are insecure because of it. So, part of it, of course. So, yeah, I think we as creators, we've taken the Zimma to, speak our minds, and we should be the people in the forefront talking about things like this.
Absolutely. So what does body positivity mean to each one of you?
So to me, body positivity means just appreciating my body, appreciating and accepting my body the way it is, respecting my body, just feeling gratitude, for my body. And just, I think having according to me, it's just having a more, a health focused attitude towards my body instead of a weight loss focus, which is I'm guilty of having that back in the day, of thinking about that back in the day, that I need to lose weight, I need to look a certain way. And I think in the last 1 or 2 years, that's drastically shifted into building strength, into building health, into just like I'm just like today, like when I wake up, I'm just grateful that I have the opportunity and I have the privilege to work on my body the way I want to see it and not the way that society would want me to look like. So I think it's just respecting your own wishes and respecting your own body like that.
I think for me, it's very similar to what Shireen said. It's accepting my body and not comparing it to anyone else and any sort of, imposed standards of beauty, because your body is not a trend. what's trending right now is beautiful and healthy, 5 years later it's going to be something completely different. And I also feel like, when it comes from a place of acceptance and love, you're able to make healthier, better choices for yourself that are good for you in the long term. Yeah, so it starts with acceptance for me.
I think it's like I agree with you guys. It's something as simple as wearing a certain garment and not thinking twice about it. You're happy with what you're wearing. You're happy with what you're putting inside your body, what you're putting on top of it. And I think that is what it is for me. How I would like accept it is that I don't think too much about it. I think overthinking kills us all, and I don't want to do that to myself. And for that, I just feel like, you know what, Henlia, acha lag raha hai. My state of mind is happy. I'm good. So that's what I feel about it.
So my next question would be like, how is body positivity related to, health and well-being?
It is everything. Like that I think it comes under, like, right under the same umbrella. But I think it's important. I think there's something that people should realize and not be misconceived about, is the fact that body positivity means just like, I have to be positive, I have to love my body. Like, there's no point just saying it if you don't feel it. Like, there's no point dismissing your own feelings or somebody else's feelings and just masking those emotions. It's very easy for us to, chant and preach and say, love yourself and love your body and I love my body. But I mean, the truth is that, a person has to actually feel and understand it. That's only when the mental space starts to, that's when you get to a better place. Because if you're just going to mask it, you can keep saying it and keep preaching about it, but it's not going to change anything inside. But the moment, I think what helps is if you have the right people around you to empower you, to to make you feel. I think yeah, your company really matters. And then when you start to learn and understand what self-love is and what self-care is, and the fact that you are beautiful no matter what, and there's people of all different shapes and sizes, there's a higher level of understanding that you have to get to get there. It's not very easy. So I think once you get there, once you get over it and you realize that, that's when you start to love yourself and be in a much better space, in a much better headspace. And I mean, besides mental health, it's not just mental health, it's even like, I mean, even eating disorders. Like, we don't realize that, the beauty standards that we've set in the past. And I'm not only talking about being skinny, I'm even talking about skinny girls who are, who are asked to put on weight. Like, we don't, at least right now, I don't feel like we're talking enough about eating disorders, whether it's binge eating disorder or not eating enough. Either ways, the moment you empower people to accept and love their bodies, that's something, because even eating disorders comes under the mental health category and the umbrella. So even that's something that can change, I'm hoping, in the future. So yeah.
Yes, that's very important. Ankita.
Yeah, so I'd agree with what Shireen said, and I realized as a personal journey as well that once it came from a place of acceptance and love, I could make better decisions for myself that were better for my health, that were better for me long term, that were sustainable. Fasting, weight loss diets that were, compromising on your health, on your skin health, on your hair health. And I've seen people close to me go through that, where they are so obsessed with a certain number that I have to be under 55 kg. So even if it's 57, I need to bring this down. So I'm doing I'm going to just be doing juices or soups for today and things like that. And I am guilty of going through that because I felt so desperate, because the whole world, everyone around me, everyone felt they had the right to tell me that, okay, you need to lose weight. And like, Shireen said, there'll be relatives telling your parents and all that unsolicited, advice, which goes just, not just you, it's all around you in your circle. So that was a time when, now looking back, I realized I didn't make good decisions for myself because I was not thinking of health. I was not thinking of well-being. I was thinking at any cost, let's lose weight to look like that. So yeah, for me, that acceptance and that coming from a place of, okay, this is all I have, in this lifetime, everything I want to do in my life, this is my, this is my car, this is my engine. I need to take care of it, so that the purpose of my life is not to look good, to look perfect by someone else's standards, which are constantly changing. The purpose of my life is to, do all I want to do that makes me happy, that makes me feel accomplished, and take care of the vehicle that allows me to do these things. So I think for me, yeah, overall health, I feel like I make better decisions for myself now.
Shraddha?
I mean, can't disagree with what they've said. It's true. This happens to everybody. I think what people don't realize is that you, again, I keep reiterating, but we're humans, right? So we're not supposed to be one certain way our entire lives. We are constantly going back and forth in the decisions that we make for our lives, in the relationships that we have with people, in the kind of talk that we have with ourselves, because I think that's where we sorely lack in realizing and accepting that जो self talk हम करते हैं, that's where we need to be better. That's what needs working on. And again, what Shireen said in the beginning is also one of those things that I get very hooked by, is blind positivity. You can write it on the walls, I am confident and I'm happy and I'm this and I'm that, but if you don't apply any of those things into your own lives, if you don't stop yourself from thinking, you know what, theek hai, maybe this is not the perfect post for me, fine, but I think I still look good, so we're going to go ahead with it. Even those little talks, हमारा constant, I think हम सबके success standards भी बहुत high हैं, जहाँ हमें लगता है कि today overnight I'm going to be this super awfully confident person and I'm going to walk 500 steps ahead and I'm not ever going to, go back any steps. And if and when that happens, because it does, it's life, right? We get flustered. We're not sure what's happening. And that's kind of where things, intertwine. That's where your mental space intertwines with what you feel about your body, because this is what you live with, right? This is what, again, that's the engine to your car. So you're moving with that, you're living with that. You also see your face in the morning. The first thing that you greet, the first person that you meet is your own self. So if you are constantly put down by those feelings of, oh my God, my hair is a mess, my skin looks bad, I have acne, my nails are ugly, I am this, I am that, तो बाकी चीजों का टाइम कहाँ है, बाकी चीजों के लिए जगह कहाँ है? You have to सांस तो लो, मतलब you are doing so much to your own self that everything else that might be just as important or maybe more important at times, it takes a back seat. And then these things slowly, they start taking over, and you don't realize it until you have to go meet a group of your friends and you cancel the plan last minute because you're too afraid and you're too insecure about the way you're looking, or you're feeling like, I can't go out because I'm bloated today, my hair is so terrible, if someone sees me, they're going to think less of me, something like that. And the situation that you're building in your head, they cause you damage, and then that translates into physical damage, in the sense where you're not eating enough, you're not eating well enough, you don't care if you are going to faint any second, if you still get to maintain that flat stomach for just another day. So it is of course related, and it's also chemical, in the sense that when you're not eating well, when you're not sleeping well, when you're getting into unhealthy habits to be a certain body type, it's also going to affect your health from a hormonal point of view. That also messes with your mental health. And then this is just one part of your life, which then spreads into the rest of your life. And that's when things start to, really get messy. And I really wish that with conversations like these, people start to at least think about it. I'm not even saying कि ये वाला panel सुनो और हमसे इंस्पायर हो जाओ और कल अपनी जिंदगी बदल दो. I'm just saying that इस पैनल को सुनो, जो समझ आता है, जो रेजोनेट करता है, उसे लो, और धीरे धीरे करके कभी आए दिमाग में तो सोचो, और फिर देखो कि असेस करो कि हाँ, now what? I know this. I know that I'm a fabulous person. I know that I can be a better person also. But am I only going to define myself with this frame that I come in? Or am I more than, skin? Am I more than flesh? Am I more than weight? And I think no matter how much we try to put these two things together, they will always be together. So better that we start thinking about our lives and how we talk to ourselves puri tarah se, and understand that all of these things which we think might not affect us, they do. And yeah, just give yourself a breather. I think that's important. Your body will also thank you for it, and so will your mind, and both of them need to, work in harmony for you to live the life that you wish to live.
And I think also the company you keep makes a very, very big difference, and it helps a lot. So I'm somebody who's not, and I don't know if it's the healthiest approach to take, but I'm not somebody who's afraid to cut off toxic people from my life, because, like you mentioned that, if you're not going to get out on a day where you feel like your acne is flaring up a little bit, or if you're looking bloated, because there are those few people in your friend circle who point that out and will be like, you're looking tired today. Like, like that, we've all got that. You're looking tired today, or you're looking a little bloated today, or you've not put kajal, or like you're looking
nice. You have no idea on what spiritual level I'm connecting with the kajal thing. I used to wear kajal in school, and people anyway had comments like, "Teri aankhein badi choti hai," this and that. So the day I would not wear kajal, everyone would be like, "Behan, matlab it's so obvious." But I agree, but toxic. I am the person who holds that speaker. Nikal दूसरे जिंदगी से, काट दे, जाने दे, because you don't have enough time. Yeah, what's the point of going for an outing with people that you think mattered, and then coming home crying that what, they said this about me, or I can't believe this group of people made me feel this way. Why do that to yourself? Much nicer to have that one difficult talk rather than having those multiple difficult talks for the rest of your life, I think.
Finally, what are your messages to the youth on, accepting themselves and being endearing about their appearance?
I think, I would want to say what I wish someone had told me. And I think for me, it was a lot of looking for confidence, for validation through a lot of other things as a way to compensate for not feeling good about how I looked. So I was like, okay, I know I don't look good, but let me just study really hard, put myself in, so I'm always on top of my class. So that's my redeeming feature. Okay, so I think that's what I would want to say, you are good enough, because we spend so much of our young life just trying to be good enough and try to fit into some standard, some externally imposed standard, and we do so much harm to ourselves in that process. So I think just telling people that your confidence, it just because who you are, that's enough. You don't have to do something. You don't have to be acknowledged by other people in order to be worthy. Just because of the fact that you exist, that you are here on this earth, is enough reason to feel valued and to feel worthy. And you are good enough. I wish more people say that to each other. You are enough, you are good enough, and I am enough the way I am. And another thing that I get a lot is, by talking about self-love and self-acceptance and body positivity, people tell me that I'm perpetuating unhealthy standards. And the thing is, you always suppose, and it's not necessarily about body. If there's anything you want to improve on, you want to grow in a certain area of life, acceptance doesn't mean you stop working on yourself, that you don't aspire to be, more accomplished or more skilled at something. But that's what people, often, it's a misconception that I'm encouraging people to put on more weight and then call themselves beautiful. That's the kind of comments I get. So yeah, acceptance and self-love doesn't mean that you still don't, want to be better at certain things that make you feel happy. Yes, I think that would be my message to younger people. Don't look for validation and worth in external things. Just because you exist, that's enough reason that you are valued and worthy.
That is awesome. I mean, I think what you said now, had someone told us this in our past, when we were at our lower, maybe possibly lower points in our lives. And I think I always say this, the internet is amazing because of the variety of things and people and opinions and information that exists in the world. So when there's so much for you to take, and when there's so much for you to learn from, for even if you think that you're not smart enough, you can read up on things for free and you will be better at it for a second. So I think if social media means something to you, if any part of pop culture means something to you and it is important to you, then pick up on the good things, pick up on the things that you can actually use in your life and work with that, run with that. I mean, how many times will someone have to come tell you that, look at this person, they don't possibly have, they maybe have some sort of physical issue, they maybe have some sort of disease, they maybe have some sort of acne, for that matter. Acne differs for people, right? It's really bad for a lot of people. It's okay, it's a thing for just some people. So why do you need that kind of a contrast to know that you're blessed if you have a working body, you're blessed if your body lets you do the work that you want to do, lets you achieve those dreams, lets you travel to the places that you wanted to, your stomach lets you eat the things that you want to do. So it's बहुत चीजें हैं बाहर, बहुत लोग हैं बाहर, जिन लोगों के साथ समझ नहीं आता है, जिन लोगों के साथ वाइब नहीं बनता है, जिन लोगों के साथ नेगेटिव फील होता है, टॉक्सिक फील होता है, उनको एकदम से निकाल सकते हो, एकदम से निकालो, उनको धीरे धीरे करके अपने लाइफ से, अपने दिमाग से, अपने थॉट से निकाल सकते हो. Get them out and don't be afraid to talk to more people. Don't be afraid to take in good things. It's not going to harm you any. Our YouTube videos are not going to make any difference in your life until you decide to act on something that we said or did, right? So if we are here shouting at the top of our voices saying that, listen, we all go through the same shit every single day, no matter what we do in life, no matter how famous you might think we are, or we will be, whatever. It happens to all of us. And what we try to do is also try to just be like, Acha, theek hai, today I'm not feeling good. Cool. Theek hai, fine. We'll see how it goes. A couple of days later, you're fine. Okay. If not, you'll be better than what you were. Maybe you might be worse, but that's okay. I mean, it's not a race from one emotion to the other. So you just stay where you are, be okay with it, and be very mindful of the things that you consume, and be absolutely savage when it comes to letting go of things that don't serve you in the way that you would like to. And if you feel that this is something that you are going to listen to right now and then forget, perhaps watch this video later, watch similar videos, hear similar stories, listen to people that you care about, and hopefully that will be motivation enough for you to start implementing some good things in your life for yourself.
So I think the number one point for me would be that recognize who your critic is. That really helped me. Like, is your critic your own inner critic? Is it yourself, or is it somebody outside that is putting these toxic ideas in your head? And if it's somebody outside, then, like we already spoke about, cut them out, because you don't need them. Whether it's on Instagram, whether it's in your friend circle, whether it's a family member who you can instantly let them know that what you said is not right and it's not sitting well with me, whether it's that or cutting them off. If your critic is your inner critic, then I think it's mindfulness, as Shraddha mentioned. Just be mindful of how many times in a day. Like, that's one exercise that I use. Like, in the beginning when I did start, getting therapy, like my therapist was just like, start counting how many times in a day you are talking badly to yourself, or how much negative self-talk you're doing, and just start correcting yourself slowly, because nobody outside is telling you these things. You're telling yourself, you're setting your own like standards and like making yourself miserable like that. So recognize whether it's your inner or outer critic, and I think once you do that, you'll just start to show a little more gratitude towards your body and the fact that you have the choice. Like what Ankita also mentioned, it does not mean body positivity or even feminism or anything does not mean that you have to be okay with, you have to be okay looking like however you are or whatever your current situation is. It means that you have the freedom to choose how you want to look or how you want to be or how you want to dress. It's the freedom. If somebody wants to lose more weight because it makes them feel healthy and happy and is better for their mental health, that empower them to do that. And if somebody does not want to do them, empower them either way. So I think it's the choice that you have, and the privilege that you have, that we need to be grateful for. Pamper yourself. Don't like, even there's small things and people really underestimate them, like just getting your nails done, just get a manicure, and there's like just a little feel, you know what I'm saying? There's something that it does, like that pampering. And I'm not going to say sheet masking and everything, because everyone talks about that, okay? But like getting these little pampering techniques done, they make you feel good, at least, even if it's for like an hour or a day or whatever. And yeah, I think just step away from toxicness, like toxic. What is the word? Toxicity?
Toxicity, yeah.
Toxicity. We have the option to choose what we want to follow. If it's on social media, and I know people really criticize social media, but we have the option to follow what we want to follow. We can mute, we can block, and we can create our community and our environment which makes us feel happy and empowered.
Very true. So thank you guys so much. It was a pleasure having you all here. And I think we've highlighted so many important points about the body positivity movement. Well, I wish you guys luck and thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. Bye. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.